Good morning. It's Monday, May 18th. Happy Victoria Day. Here's what we're working on this morning.
I'm Simone Gavros reporting live on Hamilton Mountain. Police continue to hold the scene following a fire at a house on Mountain Brow Boulevard. I'll have more details coming up.
And Hamilton police are investigating after shots were fired at a home on Stony Creek Mountain.
2 minutes left. Hossack out of the box. Bounce past Bushi. Gets to the middle of the floor. Here's Bushi!
And the Toronto Rock are back on top of the National Lacrosse League. Good morning. Happy Monday. Can't believe it's Monday already. It's a holiday. Kind of doesn't feel like a holiday, although we might see that transpire on the roads.
Yes, a lot lighter on the roads.
Yeah.
I think
all
so,
those
yeah.
fireworks last night.
And what's with the heat? My gosh.
Yep, all of a sudden we went from, well, kind of wintry to summery without much of a spring in there at all. So, yeah, all of a sudden it's summer and we have a heat warning in effect. This is our first heat event of the summer. Today we're going to hit 30 with a humidex of 35 and another warm one for the day tomorrow. So be prepared for a stickiness to settle in. And you can see that we have haze in the distance there. Actually, the skies are fairly cloudy as well. But for your holiday Monday, the skies are going to clear nicely. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day. And as I said, it's going to be hot, 30, feeling like 35. Temperature at the moment is warm. It's sitting at 18 degrees right now. So it's going to be a warm one for the day today. What a beautiful Victoria Day, holiday Monday. We'll talk about the details in the forecast in a sec. Right now, we'll look at traffic. And of course, being a holiday Monday, we'll be counting cars this morning. And that's what we're doing here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. Nothing to see right there. Yeah, it's doing okay. So we'll show you just a couple of MTO traffic cameras, see if we can find anything. Nothing at Centennial Parkway. We'll check the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Pretty much that's how the highways look this morning. So take it carefully if you're driving today, please. We will look at weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. Hamilton police are holding the scene of an overnight house fire on the mountain. Simone Gavros joins us live from Mountain Brow Boulevard with the details. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Rick. Police say that this happened around 1:25 this morning at the house here on Mountain Brow Boulevard. This is just near Upper Ottawa Street. Now you can see that there is still police tape just surrounding the home here, and just a couple of police officers remain on scene as they are just waiting for the next steps following this fire. Now you can see that the most damage looks to be located closer to the back of the home. The windows are broken out here at the top of the house, and then most of the damage looks to be closer to the back, where you can see a lot of the roof charred, and then there's a lot of debris that's sitting closer to the backyard of the home. Now on social media, the Hamilton fire page shows that this house fire was quickly upgraded to a multi-alarm fire around 1:25 this morning, and that was just having to bring different apparatuses closer to this area to help get this fire under control. Now, I haven't heard from the fire department just yet about the response that they had. The only information we do have is posted on their Hamilton fire page dashboard, but police do tell me that this house was vacant at the time, and thankfully no one was injured because there was no one inside. So I'm told that police are going to be holding the scene until at least 7:30 this morning, and then they're going to determine next steps to see if they do have to call in the Ontario Fire Marshal. For now, Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. And damage has been said at more than $500,000 after an apartment fire on Lakeshore Road in Burlington. It started just before 1 yesterday afternoon. No one was hurt, and people were allowed back into the building a few hours later. The Office of the Fire Marshal has been notified, and Burlington fire investigators are working to determine the cause of this one.
Hamilton police are investigating a shooting on the Stony Creek Mountain. It happened at around 3 a.m. yesterday in the area of Winterberry Drive and Highland Road. One person who lives in the area says they heard gunshots, but police say no one was injured in the shooting. Police are asking anyone who may have witnessed the shooting or have video footage to come forward.
The family of a Niagara College grad who went missing at Mont-Tremblant, Quebec, is taking part in a spring search for him. 22-year-old Leon Toman disappeared during the ski trip at the Quebec resort in February of last year. His wallet was found in a nearby parking lot. His family has joined volunteers and search and rescue dog teams. They've also launched a blue wristband campaign to raise awareness, encourage anyone with information to come forward. A $50,000 reward for information leading to Liam has been extended indefinitely.
Public Health Agency of Canada has confirmed our country's first case of the Andes strain of hantavirus in a Yukon resident linked to the MV Hondius cruise ship outbreak. Health officials say the person developed mild symptoms while isolating on Vancouver Island while their traveling partner tested negative. An infectious disease specialist says the risk to the general public remains low, though officials are closely monitoring for any further transmission. 12 cases nationwide have now been linked to the cruise ship outbreak. The MV Hondius, meantime, docked at port in Rotterdam this morning after all the passengers disembarked at various locations in the past few weeks. The ship is now only carrying 25 crew members and 2 medical personnel. The crew will enter immediate quarantine and the ship will be decontaminated based on Dutch public health guidelines before being allowed to sail again.
The World Health Organization has declared an Ebola outbreak in parts of Africa a public health emergency of international concern. More than 300 suspected cases and 88 deaths have been reported in Congo and Uganda. There are no approved treatments or vaccines. The WHO's emergency declaration has been made to prompt international action, but the response to past declarations like this have been mixed. Conflict and migration in the region complicate efforts to contain the outbreak. It started last month, but slow detection has delayed the response.
Conservative MP Michael Chong is traveling to Taiwan this week in what he calls a show of Canadian sovereignty and solidarity. He says the visit is also a response to comments from China's ambassador warning Canadian MPs against traveling to Taiwan. Chong says Canadians do not take direction from foreign governments on where parliamentarians can travel internationally. Global Affairs Canada says Taiwan is the country's 15th largest trading partner in 2024 and 6th largest in Asia.
Talks to avert a transit strike in Toronto continued past weekend deadlines. The union, representing nearly 700 electrical workers, had voted 99.5% in favor of a strike mandate in April. A media spokesperson for the TTC says if there is a strike, contingency plans exist to keep the system running using managers and supervisors. Both sides worked through 2 deadlines this past weekend. The head of the Electrical Workers Union says they hope to reach a deal ahead of the FIFA World Cup. The city of Toronto is ramping up preps for hundreds of thousands of visitors when the tournament begins June 12th. Looking ahead to next spring's blooms, the Royal Botanical Gardens tulip bulb sale is happening tomorrow. It's a chance to buy some of the tulip collection that blossomed over the last few weeks at the RBG displays. Prices range from $10 a dozen to $25 for 3 dozen, and it's debit or credit only, no cash. The sale runs from 10 until 4 tomorrow at the RBG's Henry Park while supplies last. The stocks are still attached, and you'll need to bring your own bag. A renowned Nepali Sherpa guide has scaled Mount Everest for, get this, the 32nd time. It surpasses even his own record that was set last year. 56-year-old Kami Rita Sherpa reached the 8,800-meter peak, the highest in the world, while guiding clients from an expedition company. Nepal's Department of Tourism has congratulated him for achieving the historic milestone and for his contributions to promoting mountain tourism. Kami Rita was born in the same village as Tenzing Norgay. Norgay and Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand were the first to climb Mount Everest in 1953. Kami Rita climbed the peak for the first time in 1994.
It is party time in Rock City. 15 years after winning their last championship, the Toronto Rock are back on top of the National Lacrosse League.
2 minutes left. Tossing out of the box. Bounce past Bushi. Gets to the middle of the floor. Chris Bushi!
Chris Bushi and Owen Hiltz each scored 3 goals, and 38-year-old Nick Rose made 34 saves as Toronto beat the Halifax Thunderbirds 12-7 to sweep the best-of-3 final. The Rock led 8-6 at halftime and allowed just 1 goal in the second half last night, outscoring the T-Birds 4-1 in the third and fourth quarters. Toronto's Sam English was named Finals MVP. It's the Rock's 7th title in franchise history, tied with Buffalo for the most in NLL history.
I don't have the words right now. We worked so hard for so long, and now we're bonded and bound by blood, sweat, and tears for the rest of our lives. And I couldn't be happier of our group. No other team deserved this more than this group.
The Rock completed the 6th final sweep in league history since the NLL went to a best-of-3 format in 2014. Hamilton's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has joined an exclusive club, becoming just the 14th player to win back-to-back NBA MVP awards.
The guys in the room really having my back night in and night out. It's a long season full of ups and downs, injuries, things like that. So those guys just tying their boots up and going to war every night for me and with me. I wouldn't have won. How many games did we win this year? 64 games without them.
SGA beat out Denver's Nikola Jokic and San Antonio's Victor Wembanyama for the award, and it marks the 8th consecutive time that the MVP was born outside the U.S. Shea and the defending champion OKC Thunder host the Spurs tonight in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Cavaliers are off to the NBA's East Final. Donovan Mitchell scored a game-high 26 points as Cleveland popped the Pistons 125-94 in Game 7 last night. The Cavs, who ousted the Raptors back in round 1, will face the Knicks, with Game 1 tipping off tomorrow night in New York. Brittany Sykes scored a career-high 38 points. Rookie Kiki Rice added 19 in her first start as the Tempo raced past the LA Sparks 106-96. Marina Mabry had 14 points, and Hamilton's Kia Nurse added 10 points, including a couple of threes in Toronto's first road win in team history. The 2-2 Tempo were 39 of 42 from the foul line. Aaron Rai has become the first English-born golfer in 107 years to capture the PGA Championship.
That was exquisite.
Rai, who dreamed of becoming a Formula One driver when he was a kid, was 3 shots off the lead and approaching the back 9 when he delivered a performance worthy of a major champion. He made a 40-foot eagle putt on the par 5th 9th during a stretch when he one-putted 7 straight greens. Then he holed a birdie putt 70 feet across the 17th green for the clincher. The 31-year-old Rai is also the first player of Indian heritage to win a major, closing with a 565. Nick Taylor was the top Canadian finish in a tie for 26th. The Blue Jays have traded lefty Eric Lauer to the Dodgers for a player to be named later, or cash considerations. The Hamilton Cardinals trounced the Toronto Maple Leafs 8-2 to improve to 1-1 in the Canadian Baseball League. And the Niagara River Lions open the CEBL season tonight in Ottawa.
All right, coming up on 6:13, it's a holiday Monday morning, but if you have to be up to do what you do, let's get you into the morning here. Let's see if we can find any traffic whatsoever. No, not a lot going on right there. 403 Waterdown Road, as you can see, moving nicely. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras, and we'll just kind of flip you through some. Garden City Skyway, the east camera looks good. Grays Road, Stony Creek, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, there's nothing at all. Here's a look at Bronte, all the way through Mississauga. It is wide open this morning. So let's get to our temperature and what we have at the moment. Temperature in Hamilton right now, we're sitting at 18 degrees. So that is, shall we call it a warm start to the morning? Why not? South-southwest breeze, fairly light. The sky is partly cloudy at the moment. Now we are 18. The warmest spot in Canada right now is in southern Ontario. It's Goderich. Goderich is 22 degrees right now. Yeah, so we have a heat warning in effect for Hamilton, Halton, Niagara. Highs in the 30-degree range, humidex of 35, and it'll be warm overnight, so we're not going to get relief. A large area of thunderstorms to the north of us, and that corresponds to the warm front that's gone through. So it's going to be warm, well, hot today, if you want to call 30 hot. Yes, we're going to get there. Tomorrow again, it's going to be on the warm side, 29 degrees, and then the cold front is going to go through, and the temperatures will fall later in the week. But, yep, today, 30 for Niagara, 30 for Hamilton, a little bit cooler for Burlington at 28, but generally it's 30, even 31 for Guelph and Kitchener, feeling like about 36. Tonight stays mild, 20 for St. Catharines, 16 for the Falls, but generally 18 and 19 degrees. Showers, thunderstorms, quite possible overnight tonight. Tomorrow we'll see a bit of sunshine, but chance of showers and thunderstorms once again. Temperatures 29 to 30, depending on where you are. A little bit cooler for Burlington at 26, but fairly unsettled for the day tomorrow. So outside the door this morning, on the 18th morning of May, it is partly cloudy. The winds are fairly light. The temperature right now is warm already. We're sitting at 18. Long range coming up. Annette, right.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat this morning. And in business news, Porter ramps up domestic flights out of Hamilton. More on that in a moment. 6:17 on your holiday Monday morning. Good morning, Emily. What's coming up in Chit Chat?
Hi, good morning. Well, Mel Brooks is donating a lot of money and a lot of archive materials. We'll talk about what and how much. I don't know if you saw this video over the weekend, the guy that crashes the fashion show.
No.
Oh, you guys are going to love it. It's so good.
Okay.
And brand new music from the Rolling Stones, except we're going to be curious to kind of rub our eyes and adjust the television set because they're a lot younger all of a sudden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to brace ourselves. Thank you,
Yes.
Emily. Business news this morning. We'll check the markets. The dollar is up slightly to 72.79 cents U.S. Gold is down $7 U.S. an ounce, while oil is up 95 cents to $102 U.S. a barrel. In European midday trading, London and Frankfurt are up slightly this hour.
Key Asian markets were all down today. Friday's closing numbers for the major North American markets were down across the board. The TSX is closed today for Victoria Day.
Porter Airlines is expanding its presence in Hamilton. The airline has announced it is adding new nonstop service to Winnipeg and St. John's. Flights from John C. Munro Hamilton International Airport to the cities officially began last Thursday. There are 6 round trips per week. The airline says service to St. John's is expected to increase to daily flights by late June.
A strike is looming at the world's largest memory chip maker. Talks resume today at Samsung Electronics, which is South Korea's largest employer. The union representing 47,000 workers wants performance bonuses equivalent to 15% of Samsung's operating profit. A strike could threaten global supply chains of semiconductors. They're used in everything: smartphones, electronics, telecommunications, and artificial intelligence. South Korea's prime minister says the government is going to pursue all options to avoid a strike at Samsung because even a temporary pause in manufacturing could lead to months of inactivity at the plant.
Sales of new electric vehicles jumped in March as Canadians took advantage of the return of federal rebates. StatsCan says nearly 22,000 new electric vehicles were purchased in March. That's the highest since December 2024, just before the government paused the rebate program when funding ran out. The subsidies offer $5,000 toward the cost of a new EV and $2,500 towards plug-in hybrids. The government earmarked $2.3 billion for the program over 5 years. It has set a target of putting 840,000 new EVs on the road.
Robots are no longer welcome on Southwest Airlines. Earlier this month, a humanoid robot went viral after boarding a Southwest flight from Las Vegas, being placed in a window seat. Southwest Airlines says it will no longer allow either human-like or animal-like robots in the cabin or as checked baggage, and it's all because of their lithium-ion batteries. They are a fire risk on flights. There have been a couple of recent incidents involving humanoid robots on flights. One caused a delay of a Southwest flight from Oakland, California.
Still freaky.
Yeah. Would you want to sit beside one?
No.
At least they wouldn't take up the armrest.
And they wouldn't be crying.
No.
Right?
No.
We think.
No.
Taking a break right now. Brian is going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
Good morning, 6:24 on this holiday Monday morning, and you can tell it's holiday. Well, look at the traffic here. Garden City Skyway, the west cameras, no problem at all. Woodward Avenue, pretty much the same. We'll advance all the way through to east of Royal Windsor. This is right around the Ford plant, so nothing there. Nothing in Mississauga at Lorne Park, and even the 403 going through Mississauga at Mavis is fine. Just lots of pavement shots here this morning. So let's get to some temperatures that we have at the moment. Hamilton is sitting at 18. 18 degrees, so it's a warm start to the morning. 14 for Grimsby, 13 for Mississauga. What a difference for Toronto, sitting at 10. Now, when Hamilton gets an east wind off the lake this time of year, it keeps our temperature down. And when Toronto gets a south wind off the lake, which is pretty much what we have right now, it keeps their temperature subdued. So that's why the difference between Hamilton and Toronto at the moment. So, yep, it's Monday and it's a holiday. So sometimes 5:53 it was up, it goes down at 8:40 tonight. Those are our seasonal temperatures for this time of year, and we will be way above that for the day today and our records for today. And we do have a heat warning in effect for today, tonight, and for tomorrow. So today we're going to hit 30 with a humidex of 35 for Victoria Day today. That's lovely sunshine. Going to be a beautiful day, if you don't mind it on the hot side. 18 degrees, so it stays warm tonight. Tomorrow 29, humidex of 33. Tonight and tomorrow, chance of showers and thunderstorms, so that's what happens when you get some thunderstorm activity. We're going to get a little bit cooler air. The thunderstorms tomorrow will be triggered by the cold front going through. So what a difference on Wednesday. Showers and 14. We go way below seasonal. And then 16, sunshine comes back Thursday. Fairly unsettled as we head toward the weekend, and temperatures stay on the cool side with showers for the weekend. That's your forecast. And Rick.
Thanks, Brian. For the first time, Bulgaria has won the European Song Contest Eurovision.
That's singer Dara and her song Banga Runga. She is one of the biggest pop artists in Bulgaria. That song won both the jury and the public vote, the first time in almost a decade that both selected the same winner. Fans who greeted Dara at the airport described the victory as an emotional and long overdue one. Bulgaria's capital city of Sofia is now set to host Eurovision next year, when Bulgaria will mark the 20th anniversary of joining the European Union. And there's also talk of Canada joining Eurovision.
Is Will Ferrell going to be there? He just
forgot about that movie.
We'll see. We'll see if he is. Stay with us. More to come here on Morning Live. Good morning. It's a good song.
It is. I like it.